Hello, magnificent people and beautiful people out there. We are so glad to connect with you today. This is day 3 of Magnify Your Love Power 3-day challenge. So we are so happy here. We're pumped up and grateful that you are here watching us. If this is a replay, we want you to comment below. We would like to ask you to share or ask any questions that you might have, because today's topic is, how do you know you love yourself?
Right.
How do we know that, Dr. Flynn?
Yeah. Well, we put together some steps, some ideas of how you know that you are loving yourself. So the first one that we are presenting to you is, are you taking care of yourself? So that might mean meditating, or taking care of your body, your exercise, your food, your finances. Are you directing energy to you? And are you putting your health first? And that if you are putting your health first, that shows that you're valuing yourself.
It's really important that you take care of yourself, that you stop and think, what do I need to pay attention to when it comes to yourself? Because many times I know that as a daughter, I had to take care of my mom, of my kids, and sometimes you're running around trying to cook and clean the house, if those are duties that you do at home, plus work.
Right.
But you have to set a time to take care of you. And I think it has to be on a daily basis, right?
Yes. Yeah, you have to find time that's just for you. Sometimes you might need to tell the other person in your house, gee, I need to take a little time for me. Or just tell yourself, I need to take a little time for me. And it's part of really accepting your self-worth. We've talked a bit in these couple of days about self-worth. And so taking care of yourself is a sign that you feel you are worthy of self-care. And that's really important for magnifying your love power.
Yeah. You have to practice that self-love. And the next one is that you need to stop comparing yourself with others. I mean, I did this for many, many years, like comparing myself. And there was my self-esteem was low. And I felt that I wasn't good enough because I've been comparing myself with others. And sometimes, believe me, it still happens. It's still something that's within myself. But the difference is that I have awareness that it's happening. That I'm comparing myself to someone else, and I feel less of a person or beautiful or whatever it might be that I'm comparing myself.
Yeah, it can be, great to kind of look at what other people are doing, and you use that to motivate you. But when you're using it to pull yourself down, put yourself down, then it's really not helpful. And we live in a pretty competitive society. I have so many clients who are really focused on what are other people doing? How do they measure up? And, it's really, athletes really learn to compete against themselves rather than compete against others. And it's healthier to really set your mark for yourself. What are my goals for me? What are my personal goals? Because only you can be on your path. There are many people on their paths, and they can be inspiring to you, but you have a unique path in this life. And you want to think about where could I be going? What could I be doing? How could I be improving my life? But it's how am I improving it for me, rather than how am I improving it so that I can get ahead or be like that other person. So again, it's about self-worth. Do you value you enough to free yourself of comparing yourself to others?
Exactly. Now, the other one is expressing yourself is important to you, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's really, are you speaking up for yourself? Are you asserting yourself? Are you saying what you mean? Are you being authentic? When somebody does something you don't like, do you let them know that in your gracious way, that something doesn't work for you? And are you also being authentic about what you want, where you want to go on vacation, what you want for dinner, um, what you want to, what you want to be doing when you go out for lunch with a friend? Or do you just kind of let other people choose and let other people say what they want and you just go along? So, being authentic about what you want, what's important to you, standing up for what you value, that's a real sign that you are, valuing yourself.
And one of the things that we're going to do in our course that we're going to be offering, it's really there's an activity that's called that you list your values of importance. And when you do that, you begin to create priority and you begin to know what to focus on. And you realize many times that you have been the one that's been kind of ignoring your priorities or what you truly love and want for yourself because you put other people first.
Right.
You know?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And then there's an energy and disappointment, and you're upset. You think you're upset at the other person, but you're really upset at yourself.
Yes. Yes. Right. It's only us that let other people, um, take over or do things, treat us poorly. And so, yeah, it's going to be important to, really uh, stand up for ourselves and let other people know how we want to be treated. There's that term that we teach people how to treat us.
Mhm.
So, if you're being treated poorly, you want to think about what are you saying about how people can treat you?
Exactly. We have another point, and this one is you aren't so hard on yourself, like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You let go of that inner critic. You know in your heart that you're doing the best you can and that your best is enough. And you release the negative voices in your head that tend to be discouraging and putting you down. We internalize all the people, unfortunately, that have been negative to us. And so you want to begin to replace those negative voices with positive affirmations, becoming a champion for yourself. So notice when you're kind of picking at yourself and, you know, turn it around. Give yourself positive affirmations instead.
Mhm.
Champion yourself.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Angelica?
Yes, I think it's important. I've often shared a story where when I was having struggles in my life, what I did is I wrote on a piece of paper. It was just like a simple piece of paper. You just get it. And then what I did was I wrote, I am good enough, right?
I
So,
like that.
mm,
Yeah.
so what we want you to do is get a piece of paper, and it's like a little reminder to yourself, either I love myself or I am good enough, right?
I love that.
And you put it on your wall. Like I sit here, and if I see it every day, then I can repeat it, I can say it, and I can find something that will make me and help me feel that I am good enough.
Yes, we need those affirmations around. We have grown up often with being corrected, criticized, and sometimes even if we've had positive feedback, the negative will, take over.
Mhm.
So we have to make the decision that we are going to have positive affirmations, and that's a great way. You can also put that on your mirror, and you can, you can say to your mirror and even write on your mirror, I love myself. Say to yourself in the mirror, I love you. I
Mm.
know it sounds corny, but it is really a um, it's a powerful, tool to begin to turn that around and talk to ourselves positively.
Yes, it's really important that you begin to have that self-awareness. Like yesterday, we were talking about the journey of self-discovery. And that's really what Magnify Your Love Power is all about. It's really about discovering, how can I grow as a person? How can I grow in loving yourself and expansion, right? Expanding
Yes,
that love for yourself. And at the same time, it's going to help you develop better relationships
yes,
and be able to have an awareness, like a deeper awareness, and then join us later on in another course where you really dive deep into your spiritual work. And when I say spiritual, it's because it's a self-discovery.
right, right. It's a sacred self-discovery.
Mhm.
Yeah, the our uh, being kind to ourselves is really kind of a sacred process. We are spiritual being. Teilhard de Chardin said we are spiritual beings in a physical vessel. In a sense, we are in this on this plane to manifest a spiritual energy and experience the world. And so, um, if you think of yourself in that way, whatever your belief system is, if you think of yourself as spiritual energy of some kind, then you can, you might think differently about talking negatively or about yourself or your self-worth,
Mhm.
because we could think of ourselves as coming from a special place or being manifestations of a creator of some kind. And that's a powerful way of thinking of ourselves, as those spiritual beings.
So when you're looking at these different points that we're giving you, right? We're asking you to really have like an awareness. So I'm going to write it here.
Yeah, I think having those things that you're writing down is so powerful. Okay, great.
Self-awareness. So I'm going to put self-awareness.
Oh, I'm excited about that grid.
Mm.
Tell us about the grid. What does
Well, basically, I'm just kind of reviewing a little bit of what we've been talking about.
Yes, uh-huh.
And I think that having the self-awareness, it's that self-discovery that we've been talking about.
Yes,
And the reason we want you to do that is because we want you to begin to have self-love, right?
yes, right.
So I think that that's like the huge, like that's the big piece for today. So I'm going to circle it. So it's going to help that self-love, right?
Yes.
Self-awareness, and then trying to figure out today, how do I know that I love myself?
Yes, yes, yes.
I think that is huge. And we talked about, what was the other point we talked about? Archetypes, right?
Right. Yes, the
Right,
archetypes. Yes, the positive and the shadow sides of the archetypes.
right. So
Um,
do we call it behavior or just
they're patterns.
pattern?
Archetypes are patterns that can manifest in behavior and thinking. The way we think about ourselves, the way we act in the world. Yeah.
So, so what I'm going to do is like, I know it's a little bit more than the other ones. It's the
Okay.
archetypes that we talked about, the patterns,
I
the
like that.
thinking and
Right.
behaviors, right, that we
Right.
have.
Yeah.
So this self-love will only occur if you have this self-awareness and you really start looking at the patterns. that you're in. You know, what are you believing? What are you thinking? What are the behaviors that are happening around you, so that you could really shift and begin to experience that you begin to experience what you want to experience in life. The
Right.
thing is that we call them dreams, or I have a dream that one day this is going to happen to me. But that dream can only become reality if you begin to take action
Yes.
towards it.
And some of the things we've been talking about today, while they're signs of self-love, they're also activities or ways to, love yourself.
Mhm.
So, you know, we've been talking about some of these. Did you want to go on to the next
Yes,
one?
the next one, and the reason I kind of mentioned these three is that how can you get to self-love? How can you get to self-awareness? How can you look into the patterns? And sometimes we have that blind spot and we cannot see it.
Hmm.
One of the ways that we can see it is that you have to be comfortable in spending a one-on-one time with yourself. And
Yes.
the way that you're going to do that is by attending one of our courses that we offer, where you dive in and you have deeper awareness of what's happening.
Yes.
Emotions are you feeling, right? What do
Mhm.
you believe?
Yes.
What are you experiencing? And then saying, damn it, I love myself. I'm going to make changes.
Mhm.
You begin to create a plan with us.
Yes. 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 And so the class can allow you to have time with yourself. I find a lot of people don't like to spend time with themselves. So they're rushing around, they're doing things all the time. They're, filling their lives with people and activities, and they don't like to be at home alone. They may not even like to be in their car alone. They don't like to go on vacation alone. There's a fear about that.
Yeah.
And um, so it's really important to begin to be comfortable with yourself, and it is a sign of self love.
Mhm.
So, sometimes we also, people who are very busy with family or responsibilities don't want to take time for themselves because they feel guilty about it. I have worked with a lot of caregivers who feel very guilty if they take time for themselves. And um, so you want to be careful about, sacrificing too much of yourself. And, in that case, yes, take time for yourself. So there are different reasons why people don't take time for themselves. And so you want to think about, is that one of the reasons I don't? And then there's also feeling comfortable in your skin. But what's your sense of taking time for yourself?
I think that taking time for yourself is really, like, right now, we're going to invite you to join our course where you can actually you're going to be in a small group. It's a limited group, but you're going to spend time with yourself, because it's like an inner healing. And I don't even want to use the word healing, but it's really like a deep dive within to really find that inner power, that divine
Mhm.
power,
Yes.
where you gain that courage, you gain that bravery. And what happens is that when you do that, then you're going to go after what you want, right?
Yes.
Number
Yes.
4, you
Right.
go for what you want.
Yes. I love that.
When you love yourself, when you have that self-discovery, when you figure out, what are my patterns? What are my behaviors? What is happening that's holding me back? And
Yes.
when you discover that, then you gain the courage to go and get what you
Yes. Yes.
want.
Right. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
You have the courage, the feeling of self worth, the sense of personal power.
yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And not only that, but when you do get what you want, then you have to remind yourself to celebrate those moments of what you consider success, what you consider that you accomplished, because that is self-love. What happens is that many times you achieve specific goals that you were after, and because you have already set the next goal, then you forget to celebrate. You forget
Right.
to really stop and be grateful, because that was one of our other steps. You have to recognize your successes and at the same time be grateful for what you have achieved.
I know have worked with so many clients who say to me, so I shouldn't really celebrate my achievements because I should have done that. You know, that's just something I should have done.
Mhm.
And, that was just work I should have done. And there's this flatness. Um, and it's as if they're afraid to celebrate. And so sometimes I explore with them, what was it like to celebrate? What was it like to achieve something in your life? What was it like to get an A or have a birthday?
Mhm.
And I find sometimes that people were taught that they're just supposed to kind of, that there's a route they're supposed to follow, there's responsibilities they have, and they're just supposed to do them. And when they have a success, they don't think about it, they just move on,
Mhm.
and just on to the next thing. And it's very businesslike. So I would say that, no, stop, like Angelica says, stop and celebrate. Mark the occasion when you get what you want, when you have these little successes or big successes. Really notice them and give yourself credit and recognize that it's not just that you should have done that, but that took energy and actually did it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. So we talked about, oh, the other piece, that when you do join us in this course, there's a moment where you begin to explore and begin to begin to forgive yourself.
Ooh, I like that.
Many times you'll really realize, like, oh my God, like there's this guilt, there's this shame that because something happened to you, you
Yes.
were at fault, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. Or you think you're blaming yourself, whether or not, but yeah, I mean, sometimes people can be hard on themselves. They don't, realize that, um, I mean, one way of thinking about it is at every moment, strangely enough, even if we're doing crazy things or other people are doing crazy things, we're all doing exactly what we can do at that point.
Mhm.
And we're doing sort of the best we can. And ideally, we move on and we improve, but we want to be kind to who we were at the moments we made the decisions we did.
Mhm.
And just understand that if we are beyond that, if we wish we hadn't done those things, then it shows we've grown. And be kind to ourselves just as we would be kind to someone else who's made a mistake or hasn't done things quite the way we would have wanted. So yeah, definitely being kind to yourself and forgiving yourself.
Exactly.
I love that.
Mhm. And I think that's really important. So, what we want to offer is an introduction to Jungian breakthrough experience, and it involves breakthroughs. We kind of talked about breakthrough, breath work. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I think we talked about it either yesterday or the day
Yeah,
before.
a little bit about yesterday. Yeah.
So what we want you to go is go watch video number 2 or day number 2. And of course, we'll explain it even further and deeper when you do join our course. But what happens is that you get to really break through those emotional barriers,
Yes.
limiting beliefs, and anything that's holding you back from achieving what you truly want. And
Hmm.
many times from loving yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. And another thing I'll just quickly say about breath work. I mean, one of the ideas is that when we are scared, we hold our breath,
Mhm.
and it blocks energy. And so the breath work helps us to breathe through those times, which are held in the body when we've held our breath. And that, it can help us to release a lot of energy to move towards what we want to move towards. So yeah, this course is really exciting. What else do you want to tell us?
Well, there are also, I'm sorry about my dogs. The other thing is that you will discover the archetypes. We went through the archetypes this week.
Yeah.
Deeper and really being able to spend that time with the warrior, to spend time with the magician, spend time with that archetype of the prostitute, and finding ways like, how am I selling myself short? And tapping into that energy so that you know how to shift it.
Yes.
Again, remember I told you the power is in self-awareness.
Right.
You have to be aware of what's happening. Why are you acting the way you're acting? And why are those patterns there? So that the archetypes will help you birth and refine that self-esteem and self-respect that you're looking for.
Yes, yes. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so did you want to talk about what they'll get or who this is for?
Yes, you're going to be able to discover what you want. You're going to develop a roadmap so that you can achieve your dreams and really turn them into reality. Now, here's the thing that I want you to really kind of think. What will you get? Okay. What you're going to get is a lasting love. You're going to be able to define your purpose. A lot of times you could be 50 and you have to redefine your purpose at every phase of our lives. You might be able to say, I already know what I'm doing. Yes, maybe that was a last year's purpose, but now you're in a different phase of your life. Now with COVID, you're in a different phase of your life. So you have to redefine your purpose. How can you become abundant, and increase your health and even wealth? Many times as spiritual beings, we hold ourselves back from making money. Well, you might have a breakthrough if that's one of your goals for the weekend or for this course. And then attaining that spiritual wisdom and feeling fulfilled. The other thing is, who is this for? This is for people that are ready to achieve and create change in their life. If you are fed up and you're ready to take what is yours and begin to love yourself and become that best version of yourself, then this is for you.
Yes, yes. Are you ready to take action?
Mm-hmm.
Do what it takes to make changes in your life. Do you want something different? And if so, then come with us and work with us. Do the work that it takes, and we will help you do the shadow work on the archetypes and do the breath work, and you can experience an identity shift, a shift in how you see yourself and what's possible for you.
Absolutely. Why? Like you're thinking, why now? Right? Why now?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And the reason to do it now, it's because we're having a world shift. I mean, things are changing. And if you don't do it now and find out, how can I do things differently? How can I obtain what I want during these uncertain times, right? Then this is the time. This is the time.
Yeah.
So it's time for you to come and work in a small group of people, because we want you to get the results that you're looking for. We want this to be intimate. We want you to really engage and ask us. We want to be available for you, right?
Right.
We have done this work. I mean, I want to say that I've done this work all my life because I've been very intuitive. I used to do healing on other people. My mom and my dad would bring me people that were either feeling sick or they were having some type of problems. And I remember I was probably 9 or younger. So I can say that I've done this work all my life. And going to be 57 years old. So more than 50 years. And with combined experience with Dr. Francesca, we probably have 100 years of experience.
I know. I've been a therapist for 30 years, and I've trained in energy work as well, and in shamanic practices, hypnosis, and Angelica also. Both of us have done a lot of deep training on, and which includes personal work.
Mhm.
We've, cleaned out stuff from ourselves and continue to do so that we can help you do that for yourself and clear away what's in your way, so that you can get what you want.
Yeah. So if you are ready to say yes, and this is for somebody that has no excuses, I don't have money, I don't have time. What is my husband going to say? Or what is my girlfriend going to say? Right now, this is for the person that has no excuses. They are driven to make changes in their life. And if this is you, then what we want you to do is DM. Send us a DM. Send us a message through Messenger. Or if you're in YouTube, send us a message, because we will reach out and we will tell you how to get started and
Yes.
get enrolled like now, right? So don't
Yes.
waste your time. Yes, there's a price for everything. There's an investment, but the investment is worth it. I think that in a year, I think like this year, I think I've invested, or last year, I'll talk about last year because this is the starting year. I think I've invested more than 30,000 on myself in personal and business growth. Why? Because I'm going to make changes in my life and I'm ready to, get to that next level.
Yes.
And if this is you, that you're ready to get to the next level, and no, it's not going to cost $30,000. So don't get scared. We will tell you, we're going to send you a link so that you can have a conversation with us first. And we need to know if this is a good fit. We don't just want to enroll anybody. We don't want you to just have what is it? What do they say? Like, we don't want to just check your pulse, but we really want to be able to have a conversation. How committed are you going to be? Because it is a 3-week course. You will have to join a mastermind. You will have accountability partners. And we want you to show up for them, and we want you to show up for yourself and for us.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yes. If you are ready for change, we have the structure, we have the exercises to help you get to where you want to go. Yes.
So we are so excited. So anyway, remember self-love, self-awareness,
Right.
The archetypes, looking at the patterns, what is affecting you, what is holding you back. And then we want you to go for what you want, because doing all these 4 things is what's going to magnify your love power.
Yes.
And that's what this whole topic is about, is magnifying your love power. So if you want to really magnify your love power, then this is for you. Go ahead and send us a message. We will send you our calendar so we can you're going to get a free consultation from us to see where you're at, how we can support you. We're going to give you a strategy during that conversation that you can walk away with. Whether you're committed with us or not, you will walk away with something that you're going to love. So we want to thank you for being here.
Yes, we thank you.
And you have an amazing day.
Yes, take care.
And we're going to show up tomorrow just to kind of remind you of some of the things we talked about. So don't go away. If you're in Clubhouse, we want to invite you to connect with us over there too.
Yes.
Have a wonderful
day. Yes, we'd love to hear from you on Clubhouse too.
Bye.
Bye.